Banished from Earth Classic Game Room broadcasts from the Intergalactic Space Arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything.
Matey, here be Captain Jack Sparrow, Master of Frenzy.
It's that special time for Classic Game Room time. Is it a toy or a video game or both? It's Disney Infinity with Sully and Lightning McQueen from Cars on the Atari 800 XL computer. Look how well the toys fit on there. Looks like it's made for this.
What do you say we head out and find ourselves another adventure?
On the Atari 800 XL computer. I'm just kidding. This is actually not available for the Atari. Can you believe it? I'm a little kooky right now because I'm reviewing this in between Samurai Showdown 64 on the Hyper Neo Geo 64 and Grand Theft Auto 5. Neither of which have a whole lot in common with Disney Infinity. But I'll show you another game that does. What other video game uses little figures to play with the game? That's right, this one on the Game Boy Advance. I'll bet you didn't see that one coming. Okay, so this is Disney's answer to Activision's Skylanders, but they're both very different games even though they use little collectible figures to play with the game and save all of your character data on the figure. If you're familiar with Skylanders, the concept is the same, even if they're totally different games. I'll get to that momentarily, but little plastic figure sits on the base, activates character in the game, and saves character data on little plastic figure, using magic. The figures themselves seem to be well made, well detailed, they're fun to look at, and of course, fun to collect if you love Disney and Pixar. The Disney Infinity game comes with 3 figures, the 3 that you see here. Others are available for sale at stores like Target, Best Buy, Toys R Us. You can buy them as individual figures or get them with a playset, which is what that trophy-looking thing is, and that acts as a new world in the game. That's a pretty big difference between this game and Skylanders. Also, Disney Infinity is like a whole bunch of different games in one. We've got action, we've got some driving with the Cars set, and even some naval warfare.
Direct hit, Captain!
Insert Assassin's Creed reference here. Yes, it's pretty much the same, actually. Without the assassin thing. I love blowing up boats. Now, I'm not going to call this a collection of mini-games because that's not what it is. It's a collection of adventures. Because each figure has its own adventure. Jack Sparrow goes off in search of 5 parts of something. Sully goes to college where he toilet papers a bunch of things. And the Incredibles battle robots and things with flamethrowers on their arms. So at least we've got flamethrowers in this game. So each figure comes with their own sizable adventure, some additional challenges, and lots of things to collect. As you might expect from a game like this, there's a heavy emphasis on collecting and then spending in the toy store to collect items that you can use when building your own Disney-themed world. That, in a nutshell, is Disney Infinity. Even though this is available on pretty much everything, I'm playing it on the Wii U. I thought the Wii U would have some really cool features because of the screen on the controller, but it simply acts as a menu from time to time. It's also pretty jerky during heavy action scenes, but I haven't tested the other versions of the game to see if that's an across-the-board issue. So here's Jack Sparrow unlocking the clock tower, and here he is placing the clock tower in the toy box in my own little world. After you create a toy box world, or whatever it's called, you can upload it or download other ones from the Disney Infinity server thing, if you have a Disney account. You know, there's a whole lot going on in this game. If you love Disney and you're into the collecting figures that you play in a game, you definitely get your money's worth in Disney Infinity.
Thank you, Captain. Now I'll be taking this.
Disney Infinity is an expensive game. The figures are expensive, the playsets are expensive, but it's Disney. Everything they make is expensive. But only a company the size of Disney could pull this off. And for what it's worth, I think you get your money's worth with Disney Infinity. But I will forewarn you, parents, if you're looking to play this with your kids, some of the games and modes are two-player, but the odds are your kids will figure out how to play it long before you do. The controls are not terribly intuitive, especially considering the wide variety of gameplay styles: driving, running around, combat, action. I play games for a living, and I'm still not sure how to use the toy box. I would RTFM, but there really isn't one. You have to go through tutorials, and those are annoying. As you can see, for Disney fans, this is more than just a game, it's a lot of games. With great-looking collectible figures, and occasionally you'll encounter something like this where you need all of the figures in a certain playset to open it. Which means you have to buy them.
Snap to and set sail. You can do much more than that when you get...
Yeah, it's pricey, but these games are just like that. I'm breaking this into 2 parts so we can take a look at some of the other adventures in part 2 as well as the Cars playset. It's Disney Infinity. Infinite ways to play with Disney. Don't they own Star Wars now? Where are the Star Wars figures? I'm not really into any of these particular movies. What I want is a giant AT-AT so I can stomp on things. And then level up and stomp on things even more.
Ship to port!
See you back here in part 2.
Reload the guns! Nice shot!
Hooray, a hologram. Okay, now where do I go to unlock the bar for the toy box? Because Captain Jack needs some Jack. And some Captain.